You don't know me. You've never shaken my hand. Yet you feel a connection. And somehow, some way, I feel that connection too. Just a little over 30 days ago, I started this journey on YouTube. I've been putting in this 12 miles minimum for the last 169, and today will be 170 days. I've been doing it alone every single day, making sure that I get up when or before my alarm clock goes off in any time zone. It's something you crave. You crave setting a routine and sticking to it. In front of you, you see an example of someone that's doing that every single day and sharing that journey. The majority of this work is done in the dark. But today I wanted to share my message with you in the light. You see, earlier this year, I was introduced to the idea of what is called or referred to as monk mode. But I created my own version. I call it flip mode. I flipped the script on my previous experience of life, and I'm on a journey which does not happen overnight, but it is consecutive days going toward my goals and my aspirations until I reach them and punch right through that ceiling. I've had quite a few times where I've realized things in the middle of my walk, which is typically about 4 hours every single morning. I want to share about 5 of those with you today. 5 of the things that I realized during my period of flip mode. Now, while they say monk mode is a place where you disappear, I've been hiding in plain sight in my version of monk mode, which I call flip mode. 170 days deep, 24,000 steps minimum every single day. I have not decided to do the minimum every single day. As a matter of fact, you can visit brandon.vegas/steps to see just how many steps I take on a regular basis. Now, before I start this video, like really get into it, I want you to know that I appreciate the people that stick around to the end of these videos. You see, the message is not front-loaded in any of my videos, and it never will be. I want people that are looking for value to stick around, to get comfortable. We're on a journey. There is not a single video fix for your life as there is not for mine. Because I have the luxury of spending 4 hours each morning walking, I get to consume podcasts, audiobooks, and countless YouTube videos from other people that are years, decades older than me, where I can soak in their life experiences like a sponge and sidestep some issues that I might encounter in my very near future by hearing their story and letting it soak in. Some of these videos I watch 2 or 3 times, and they're an hour long. But we're built different, at least for now. If this part of the message resonates with you, and you're going to stick around for the entire video, no matter how long it is, I don't know how long this video is going to be. That's irrelevant to me. But maybe you have somewhere to go, so you should probably save this video for later. Sit down when you have time to focus, because I'm going to drop 5 things that I've realized over the last 170 days that have changed my life already. Let's get into it. Number 1, I have realized that I am so much more capable than I ever thought, than I ever believed, than I ever gave myself credit for. I always thought that my worth was tied to my relationships and what other people thought about me. And I never gave myself the credit for how I showed up in these relationships. When you have this much time to yourself to think and reflect, which is something I do a whole lot of on these walks, I can see how I may have been used in a situation how people were takers, and that was their only motive was to take, take, take. And they saw that I was a people pleaser and they took advantage of that. And how me separating myself from those people for the last 170 days plus has completely shifted my reality. I now feel better about life every single day. I feel grateful to get up in the morning. I don't feel that ball and chain on my ankle of other people's problems and demands that they might put on me. I've freed myself of that. That's something that is invaluable. And for the short time that we are here, if you never experience that, I feel very bad for you. In our culture, there is a programming that we go through when we're in school to become people pleasers, to just do what's asked of us without asking questions. And that carries on throughout our childhood and into our adult life. And unfortunately for some of us, all the way into the grave. Why am I so intense about this? It's because I realize I'm dying. Not that I'm sick. I have a little sniffle, but it's cold outside. I realize that I have an expiration date, just like every product I buy from the grocery store. And when that date comes, it won't be about the things that I accumulated. For me, it'll be about the lives that I was able to touch through my message and my journey. But I had to get rid of certain distractions and things that were holding me back and people that were holding me back in order to get to the point where I could even reflect here on day number 170. Let's move along to number 2. People create their own boogeymen. Now, when you were a kid, you had the idea of the boogeyman. He was in your closet. He was under your bed. He was hiding in the shadows behind anything that you were afraid to do, like eat your vegetables. What might happen if you tasted something that you thought was going to be unsavory by the look of it? That's the boogeyman. Some people grow up and they leave that thought of the boogeyman behind, but some people carry it with them all the way to the grave. You see, just the simple action of pressing record on this video was one of my boogeymen. I used to be afraid of what other people might think. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? It's hard for me to imagine. I've produced 65 long form videos where you see my face talking to the camera. I have shed that boogeyman. I'm happy to say that. But the majority of people around me that I used to keep around me, that boogeyman was in their back pocket. Any type of opportunity or idea that they had, they would immediately crush it or let the boogeyman crush it. Well, what if this happens? I don't know. They say this type of thing fails within such and such time. They took their opportunity away before they even had a chance to see what might happen for themselves. And that happens to so many people. You see, I've come to the realization that if I never pressed record, I wouldn't see the growth that I'm experiencing right now on YouTube. And while I do still consider my channel to be a small channel, I can see that 100,000 subscriber goal getting hit in the very near future. I can see myself getting monetized by my birthday, December 15th of this year. I've set goals and aspirations so high that once I achieve them, the things that I set, the goals that I set after that they're going to be in space. They're going to be constellations. They're going to see shooting stars going by in the sky if you ever get up that early or you stay up that late. That's going to be my goals and aspirations. Once I achieve these small milestones, that is what you will see from me. Number 3, I've reflected on how important time to yourself is. I understand that physically, 99.999 repeated all the way out of people would never go on this journey with me physically. So I have decided to leverage the early hours of the morning to do so. I'm I associate time to an activity. I know that 12 miles will take me between 3.5 hours and 4 hours to complete. Today is Sunday. On Sundays, I typically do a bit more if time allows, if I'm at home. Now, I've already walked out 10 miles this morning. I will likely keep going before I turn around and go back home. That is a physical constraint that some people would step away from. I don't entertain the idea of a hike that's less than 15 miles because it would be a waste of my time in my current state. And some people might scoff at that and say, well, what if it went straight up that mountain back there? I still feel the same way. In order to get to this particular location, it's a pretty challenging hill. As a matter of fact, there's some valleys that were carved out by probably the very excavator I'm sitting on right now that I couldn't even jump over. And they're about 6 or 7 feet deep, so I had to find a route around them. Just that in itself, minus the hills, would have been something for someone to turn around. I've always had a dream of sitting on top of one of these machines, not to damage it, but just to see what it feels like. The power that a machine like this wields to literally move the earth. You see, if I came up here with a shovel and I tried to grade this all, it would likely take me my entire life. Yet someone took the time to create a machine like this that one person can operate and carve out these mountains so that homes could be built here, so that communities could be formed, hopefully of like-minded people, but probably not. It is what it is. But on that time facet, I protect my time now like no other. That brings me to reflection number 4. There are and there were people in my life that I would hang out with on a daily basis that I just can't hang out with anymore. I've come to the realization of it. You see, the people that I'm speaking of still do the activities that I realize were creating the limiting beliefs that I had before I got so far along this journey. If there is a outing where there's going to be excessive drinking or just poisoning of the body and the mind, I just don't want to be there. I just don't want to be included in that. It's not the person, it's the activity. But then there's not really the consideration for the person, myself, who is trying to, or is actually on a path of self-improvement. I understand there's going to be speed bumps. I understand there's going to be pits and valleys. But I can choose to not participate in those events and activities. And if the people don't understand or realize that I'm on a self-improvement journey in all aspects of my life, health-wise, financially, spiritually, and emotionally, then they're likely not a good fit for me anymore. Now, you might ask yourself, well, how could you invest so much time and energy and just throw it away? That's the beauty of reflecting. You get to see the relationships that you have and have had and really evaluate and see if they line up with your morals at this current point of your life, at this current version of you. Now, I don't know at what point I am at, except for day-wise on this journey of walking. But I could be at 2% better than I was before I quit drinking. before I started walking? I don't know. And that's the beauty of it. But if I allow the people that are only interested in doing low frequency, low vibrational things, like drinking and poisoning their body, to stay in my life and influence my life when I'm on a journey of positivity and self improvement, I'm truly doing myself a disservice. I realize that. I've reflected on it. And I've decided to move past it. This journey is not for everyone. I mentioned earlier, it's not a single day. It's not a single video thing. I made a commitment to show up every single day. And that's what I've been doing. Sometimes I post 2 or 3 videos in a single day. Sometimes I'm feeling a bit more creative. Sometimes I want to provide a bit more value to the people that are actually seeking it. Some people are here for a reason, and other people are just here for a season. It is what it is. And number 5, my reflection that I think has helped me grow the most is accepting the fact that it just is what it is. I don't try to make too much sense of difficult things or things that don't serve me. I don't look backwards because I'm not going in that direction. I'm only interested in the activities that help me and my community move forward. I feel so gracious to have found the people that I have found on YouTube. People are displaying their own self-improvement journeys. They're also trying to amass a nice community of people that are like-minded that they can share their thoughts and ideas with and help them grow. That's all I'm interested in here. I feel like that is my life's purpose, to help people out, to affect people in a way that their current community just doesn't do it for them, to let them know that anything that they set their mind to, they can do. Something as simple as going out on a morning walk by themselves, giving themselves permission to work on themselves without the need for anybody else's validation. I put a post up on Instagram that just said that was my last post on Instagram, and I deleted the app. I won't be reinstalling that app. It doesn't serve me. There's a lot of low frequency stuff going on in that channel of social media. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm looking to further my education, not from a university standpoint, but from a school of hard knocks, other people's life lessons, so I don't make the same mistakes and so I don't have to jump over those hurdles. You can learn a whole lot if you open your eyes and pay attention. So grateful to be able to share this with the people that this resonates with. I have a video out about some truths that I would have loved to have known at 20. Like, this platform wasn't around when I was 20, but just the value that I've got from it over the past year has been incredible. You know, the spiritual growth. I went to private school when I was a kid, and there was Bible study. And when I started going to public school, that went away. And I've recently found myself consuming a lot of content from Dr. Myron Golden, who has been studying the Bible since he was 16 years old, studying scripture. And the way he breaks stuff down really helps me have a different understanding for things that I can really grasp and apply to my life. You see, this is my life. It's not someone else's life. I don't have to follow anyone else's path. I am a leader at the end of the day. I can lead you up a mountain and I can lead you right back down. I can get you back home safely, just like I will get back home safely today. When you see this video get edited, understand that I spent a little over 3 hours to get here, to press record the second time today, because I already gave a daily update. And I will edit this video, I will post it, and I will step into tomorrow, God willing, and give you another update on my journey. As we go into this holiday week and holiday season, I want you to know that you are powerful enough to make your own decisions and that you don't have to rely on anyone else to tell you what to eat, what to drink, how to exercise, how to show up for yourself. That power is 100% in your hands. I hope you wield it like the largest, heaviest sword you could ever swing. Now, I want to share this view with you guys because I think it's pretty special. And while you did not walk this 10 miles up here with me, I'm not selfish. This is one of the most rewarding things that I get to do for myself every single day. You see, the goal is 24,000 steps, but I don't limit myself to minimums. I'm not a minimums kind of guy. I take pride in extra credit and going the extra mile because I will be rewarded for it. I'm seeing the rewards. Down over 37 pounds off of my own efforts. Did not go to a doctor and get a pill. I put the time and the energy in, and it is so much sweeter because of it. When you show up for yourself, you get to celebrate your wins and you get to celebrate your losses. There's no more power in any other situation than that. If you're on a journey of self-improvement, just know that I will show up for you every single day like I show up for myself. You can silence the noise with my voice. I will only be here to encourage you, just like the people in my very small circle. I hope you enjoyed this video today. It is Sunday, November 24th, 2024. I am certain next year that I will be among the ranks of some of the best YouTubers that exist, that are out there. Because I will put the time in every single day. I will show up every single day to deliver a message that hopefully empowers you. If it is the message that you are ready to receive, that you are ready to soak into your sponge. I want to thank you today for sticking around to the end if you have. Gosh, to get to see this. No one else is out here. It's just you and me. I can see the whole valley. I can see the Strip. I can see downtown. I can see Southern Highland, South Point, and I can see the 15 leaving the city. I can see the whole racetrack that is Las Vegas. It's beautiful, and I'm glad you got to enjoy it with me. So if you made it this far, I want you to leave the word cat in the comment section because that's what I'm standing on. Someone's invention, the Caterpillar excavator, the coolest toy that ever existed, but it's full scale. I'm Brandon Alexander, and I'll catch you tomorrow on day number 171.